Today we will begin with the first civics lesson, Introduction to Parliamentary System. What is parliamentary system? It is a type or form of government. There are different types of government. On the screen you will find a map which shows different forms of government which are marked in different colors. For example, the blue ones are full presidential republics. The yellow ones are semi-presidential republics. If you see India, India is marked with the color orange. Orange stands for parliamentary republics. The one in purple is absolute monarchy. So there are different forms of government. Different countries have different forms of government. The main branches of the government are, there are three branches: executive, which implements laws; legislature, which makes laws; judiciary, which gives justice. The function, powers and limitations of each branch and the relationship with each other is decided by the Constitution. What is the Constitution? Constitution is the law of the land. It is the supreme law of the land. Now India follows parliamentary system. The nature of relationship between the three organs determines what type of government is adopted by a particular country. India, for example, has adopted parliamentary system of government. Now, why has India adopted parliamentary system? Before India became independent, India was under the British rule, and Britain or England follows parliamentary system. When India got independence, India decided to follow parliamentary system. Why? Because people were already comfortable with the system. However, some changes were made in the parliamentary system, keeping in mind conditions which existed in India. For example, English constitution is unwritten, whereas Indian constitution is written constitution. Discussions, deliberations and questioning the government by opposition on public welfare matters are all part of Indian parliamentary system. Let's look at the union or the central government. At the head is the president. Under him is the legislature. The legislature consists of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. Executive means the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. Now, we will discuss all branches of the government individually and in detail in the coming lessons. For now, let us see the Parliament of India. Now, the legislature or the Parliament is called the supreme institution. Why it is supreme institution? Because it is the house of representatives of people, and this house expresses people's opinion. Now, why do we call this house of representatives? Because the citizens or the people elect these members. Let's move on to Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha members are directly elected through regular, free and fair elections. The party that gets majority number of seats, which gets more than 50% or more number of seats in the Lok Sabha, forms the government. If there is no single party who has the majority, some parties can come together to form something called the coalition government. executive. The leader of majority party in Lok Sabha becomes Prime Minister. Prime Minister chooses the Council of Ministers. It is called a responsible system of government. Now, why is it called responsible system? Because the executive is part of legislature and they are responsible, they are answerable and accountable to the legislature. Collective responsibility. Here, collective responsibility means that any decision, work or implementation of policies or laws done by one ministry or department is considered as decision of the entire government. Whether the implementation or the decision is a failure or a success, the entire executive from the Prime Minister to the Council of Ministers is held responsible. That is why we say it is collective responsibility. If the legislature is not happy with the functioning of the government, it can pass something called the no confidence motion against the executive. Now this motion is an effective tool of keeping a check over the executive. Now let us see what is presidential system of government. United States of America follows this type of system, where the president is the executive and the head of the state. President is independent of legislature. Legislature and executive do not depend on each other. The president is directly elected by the people. President has power to implement laws. Legislature and executive keep a check on each other, which leads to democratic government. Now let us see what is the difference between presidential and parliamentary system. In a presidential system, the citizen elects executive as well as the legislature. In a parliamentary system, the citizens elect the legislature, the Lok Sabha, and it is the legislature which selects the executive. Students, with this, we finish explanation for this lesson. Thank you for listening. Goodbye and take care.